happening, fellow fantasy GMs? I am JJ Wang. He is the bearded one, DJ Dub. And with our powers combined, we are the Fantasy Couriers.
So welcome, everybody. I mentioned last week that we had so much fun with Garett Kiley that we were going to have him on for 2 weeks. We had a bunch of players, had a great time. Plus, hey, we could record 2 shows in one night. So if something really cool happened in the NFL, we recorded with him last week. Feel free to hit us up. I'll try to pop stuff on our socials if I'm energized this week. But it's the quiet time. It gives us a week break, but we get a cool show, and you get to hear something other than our voices. So welcome back, Garett. Last week we spent a lot of time talking about the games, what you did for a living.
Yeah.
And could you tell us how you got into how did you get into all those things you do, the books,
I took a non-traditional route to the gaming industry. I spent the last 16 years prior to that working professionally in athletics. So my brother and I, who have the studio together along with 2 other partners, he and I both were college athletes. We both wrestled in college, and then he went on and he was the head strength coach of Cirque du Soleil for 8 years. And our other partner, our author, was a head coach at Cirque du Soleil and a former acrobat. So they were working together. And then I coached Division I wrestling for 16 years. So very non-traditional people probably to the gaming space, but we were in athletics professionally, but our hobbies were gaming. And so it was card games, tabletop games, board games, video games, whatever. It's what we did for hobbies. We were super into it. And when the pandemic hit, my brother Ridge and AJ, our writer, were both furloughed with Cirque du Soleil for a long period of time. They had some ideas for a story. We were obviously not at work nearly as much at that time, and it just kind of started this idea for a story and a concept and a game, and wasn't really sure what that was going to be. We took the graphic novel to Kickstarter first. It was 150-page graphic novel, and it did $60,000 or something on a kind of a one-shot graphic novel, which was good. We were like, hey, people like this story. And my brother, we were working on this trading card game. We took it to Kickstarter, and it did $500,000 or something in 2022. And we were like, okay, people like what we're doing. They like this game. And then it just kind of snowballed into this other thing. And as I had just other things in my life, I had some health issues. I had a baby. I had this business that was growing. It was like, hey, this is the right time for me to step away and let's go all in on this thing, and let's attack this business and this industry like we did our sports, and really go all in on this thing. And so, yeah, a very non-traditional route to the business.
That's so cool. I never thought that whole story I would have never pulled. He said, hey, what's the story behind that? Yeah, we had a bunch of college wrestlers, Cirque du Soleil, and now we have cards and books and everything like that. So it's, I would say, you mentioned Kickstarter, so it was cool. I got to be part of it. They just did a Kickstarter for we mentioned Mark Waid last week, the 4 issues of that. And that's way over exceeded what you all were expecting, didn't it?
Yeah. We just, you never know with the 24-page comic books, what it looks like for success. And we just said, hey, we're co-authoring the story with Mark. We put it up there, and we ended up with hundreds of backers and did, again, tens of thousands, whatever it was in backing. And, again, we'll be shipping out thousands of comic books here this fall from that story that we did with Mark Waid to legend in the space. So another cool moment for us.
I gotta wait. It's early fall, late fall. How long do I gotta wait?
Probably September. Yeah. It could be August, but we're trying to get our artists to wrap up the 4th issue, and it's just, nobody ever works as fast as you want them to, or things aren't ever as smooth as you want. So I would say September is safe.
Well, tell him my birthday's mid-August, and it would be perfect if it just showed up at the doorstep. Be like, hey,
we'll work on that.
Look at this guy. He shows us on 2 programs. But if you're just catching us this week and you missed last week, go check out the first part of our discussion last week. He's talking about the big name of it all is alphaclashtcg.com. It's Alpha Clash, but the website's alphaclashtcg.com, or you can follow them anywhere. Just look up Alpha Clash TCG on any of the socials. They post stuff all the time as they're going. You mentioned you all played games going up. What was your all's go-to? What was your all's go-to card game? Because you're sort of,
when we were younger, what got us into the card space was baseball and football cards. That's how we started. I was anything Frank Thomas. My brother was Ken Griffey. My dad was Cal Ripken, Barry Bonds. Like, we were just all about sports cards, and that transition into, like, we're 80s kids, but like in the 90s, the Pokemon thing's going. My younger brother, he's collecting Pokemon. Then we started playing Magic the Gathering in the 90s. And then and then video games. Those were like the stuff we were doing when we were younger. That kind of led through up until college. We were still doing all of those things. Then later we were playing Dragon Ball Super and World of Warcraft raids and, stuff like that. So a little bit of everything.
Wow. So sports cards. It's funny looking back at our sports cards. I got some Frank Thomas's, Griffey's, I remember trading away a stack of cards just to get a Bo Jackson. Because Bo was the man when we were younger. Were you a card guy ever, JJ Wang?
I mean, I got cards, but I mean, it's not like I was out here trading and collecting cards. I mean, I got a whole bunch of them in my closet, that, but I've never really exceeded much farther than that.
Yeah, recently I've hit back. It's funny. Well, Magic came out right when we were in high school, so I had a high school teacher, Coach Curl. He would teach like half the class of Algebra 2. The other half, this kid, it was right as he had this thing called Magic. So I learned how to play Magic from Brian Minter at during Algebra 2. That's what I do the second half. And I didn't play it for 20 years later. So we got some cards here we're trying to figure out. And the other year I got back into football cards because my nephew's gotten into football recently. So that's a connection. Like, we're a couple hours apart, don't you know that much. But now he'll text me like, hey, look at this card. And I'm like, oh. So I got a pack of cards today, baseball cards for some weird reason. But yeah, so what's your most valuable card you got? Or your favorite card, either way.
My favorite card is probably, I've got some of my own. That's kind of cheating, but I've got some of my own stuff back here. But I've got some just different projects we've done that are graded, signed, and numbered, of just different projects we've done of various stuff here that I've put on my shelf. Some like special staff version cards we just give to some of our staff and things like that. Those are probably my favorite things we've done, just because it's our own thing. It's a special thing. And then really other people don't have it. It's just that's kind really of cool. Interior thing.
You can send it to Golden and he can sell it for you and make you millions of dollars.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That show fascinates me. Have you seen that, JJ Wang?
No.
It's good.
It's good.
It's
good. It's cheesy, but it's good.
Yeah, I like seeing some of the cards. Going, oh yeah, I remember that. It's where Logan Paul sold that. But with the
Illustrator Pikachu.
Illustrator Pikachu he had for millions. It was crazy. Seeing that, that's been kind of a fun thing to get into. But yeah, you mentioned, last question before we get in. How big of a company are you? You said your staff. Now, I guess because I've only emailed you guys.
Yeah,
how big?
Yeah, so we've got our internal team of 4, and then we have a couple people that are game developers. We've got an author. We also have a team of play testers that play test the games and things before we put them out. And then we subcontract artwork, but we've worked with something like 60 some artists now over the last 5 years as well. So we've got worked with several different people, but we try to run a lean team, honestly. As we've had more people, and it's been better with a slightly smaller team than with a bigger team in terms of even efficiency.
Let's go ahead. And the connection we had, everybody's listening, is they are the sponsor for Fantasy Turf War, who I worked with in the fall. So they've connected through Corey because he does internet stuff. That's my knowledge. What's your connection with Corey, who's the head of Fantasy?
So Corey was a player of Alpha Clash, and we've met him before, and we've met him at some conventions of things, but we're working with him. He's worked in the gaming industry and all sorts of other stuff before on the digital side. And so we've just met him and has struck up a great relationship with him and working on projects. And we were excited to join the fantasy football side when he invited us over to jump over.
So did he take your game to Antarctica so that you're the only
He did.
game
I'm
ever
pretty
played?
sure he took our game there. I think he took our board game and stuff with him to Antarctica when he was there.
Yeah, he gave me. I got a. It's probably upside down. It's just a backwards screen, but he took a flag. He gave each of us a flag that he flew down there for a bit. So it's kind of the only. You can be like, we're the best game in Antarctica.
Exactly. Yep. We've
So-
got a corner on that market.
So let's jump back. We are a football show. I said we wouldn't talk as much as comics, but I could keep going. And JJ Wang's like, yeah, comic. Let's do some football.
Well, no, I'm watching a video for the Alpha class thing. I'm trying to figure out like I'm watching a video for it. Just go ahead. So yeah, go ahead.
I'll when you come up in August, I'll show you. I got the stuff here with me. I'll take you over to the comic book shop. You can check them out. But we're going to continue on with our Top Guys show. Top Guys are guys that we like. They might be great guys. They might be guys. My guy was last time. They might be guys that we're rooting for. They might be guys that took us to championships. And last week we started. This week we're going to finish the first half of mine and JJ Wang's portion. Garrett's going to give us his last couple of guys. And then we're going to give a homer pick this week. So far, Garrett's given us Puka Nakua and Amon-Ra St. Brown, who gave him the championship last year. JJ Wang has given us Tyler Shuck and Travion Henderson, two of his faves for the last year and a half, 2 years. And I'm just taking pitches and just swinging to see what happens. I'm throwing out a Marion Hampton and Christian Watson's guys that I am rooting for this year. So we're going to start with Garrett, because if JJ Wang and I don't get through all of our guys, we'll be back next week. But we got Garrett here this week. We're going to enjoy him talking about his fantasy football love. So Garrett, tell it, who's your guy? Who's the guy you want to talk about this week?
Oh man, I was going to talk about somebody I really like, and he seems like a really great guy, and I love him, and I'm
You're
from
going
Iowa,
scumbag,
and he
aren't you?
played at Iowa, and I'm going to switch it up actually, and I'm going to say Rashee Rice, which is not probably a lot of people's favorite person, but as a Chiefs fan, I feel for the guy, even though it's of his own making. He's had surgery, and now he's serving jail time on a surgical knee right now, doing his own self rehab. We've already got a quarterback coming back off an ACL tear, and we didn't take a wide receiver in the draft. Well, we did later, but not not a top wide receiver one. So, I mean, he's probably our wide receiver one, and he's had flashes of like he could be great, but it's somebody I'm really rooting for just on the personal level to like get his life together and help my team get back to another Super Bowl. And so I need him to, not drive fast cars or smoke or get in trouble and not get injured. So he might not be everybody's top guy, but he's one of those people I'm probably rooting for harder than anybody right now because I need him to get it together.
So Chiefs fan, what do you think his stat, like, I have to root for Rashee Rice because the first time he went really fast, some dude gave him to me for a second round dynasty pick. So he's on my best team and I need him. And I see with you. I'm with you. I've seen flashes where he could be right up there in the, Jason's going to go bunkers, in the Puka, Amon-Ra, JSN kind of realm, just the talent there. But he's also got some demons in his head. He's a knucklehead.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
First question what is the Chiefs Nation thinking as far as he going to get suspended this year, or
I don't know.
or what do you think? Because I've heard nothing.
I'm really hoping he doesn't. I'm kind of somehow expecting he doesn't get suspended, actually, even though he just kind of maybe serves his little jail time and comes back and straight from jail to the field and all of a sudden gets his life together and has a 1,000-yard season and 10 touchdowns. We're not asking for much.
Flash Go Burst.
Yeah. That's the hope.
JJ Wang, I love Rashee Rice from the talent level. Sure. He's got a little of what's his name? Josh Gordon. He's got a little Josh Gordon problem going on there. Like Josh Gordon's career was ruined because he was a knucklehead and he was doing stuff that's legal in 30 states now or something like that. Where are you at with Rashee Rice?
I mean, he's good when he plays. Like, I mean, I'd be ecstatic, if he was on my team and he was like my wide receiver one. I don't know if he has like top 3 potential, but I mean, I think he has definitely a top 12 potential. He will be your wide receiver one. But he's not very smart. Yeah, I would love to see him get his head together. Sure, I'd love to see all these guys get their head together, but some of these guys just never get their head together, and it's just constant. But ultimately, if you're talented enough, they will oversee all of this as long as you can produce on the field.
Michael Vick.
It's
So
true.
as long as he's producing on the field, I mean, I'm not saying that driving 135 isn't serious. You could really injure somebody. I mean, ask Henry Ruggs. But even Henry Ruggs has got his own personal training going on in the gym. I mean,
Next year, I
he's
think.
going to come out and probably get an opportunity as soon as he's free, which is fine. Sure, give him the opportunity. But these guys are some of these guys just don't get it, man. And hopefully he's not one of those guys. But I
I'll tell you
We
what.
can hope.
I personally probably wouldn't have him on my team because I need somebody a little more reliable to be my number one guy, and at this moment in time, he's not proven very reliable. But I mean, he drives fast cars, man, so that's cool.
I keep hoping.
I mean,
I keep hoping Andy Reid can straighten him out, but I don't know about that.
I would drive fast cars too. I mean, if I was in these guys' position, I'm not going to sit here and say I wouldn't be in jail for going 135 miles an hour, but like, man, come on.
Hey, I look at almost 10 targets a game and
Sure.
go, bam, that's what I
Sure.
want. He gets 10 targets from Mahomes. I mean, no one else is in there. Kelsey's not getting any younger. That's how they're rolling. JJ Wang, who's your first guy this week?
So I was going to. So I really like the Bears this year.
Which guy? I'm taking one. You want to take the other?
Yeah. So I'm not really sure which one I want to take.
Do the one I'm not doing.
Well, I mean,
And then we can-
I really like Caleb Williams. I could go Caleb
Ooh,
Williams
you're on
here.
Caleb.
I feel like Caleb Williams kind of took that last step, that next step last year. I thought he was fantastic. I think he can get better. I think the Bears' offense can get better. Luther Burden has been getting a lot of hype. I really like Rome Odunze. You was going to take him, so I mean, I'll go Luther Burden. I'll kind of jump on the train. I think Caleb Williams is that good of a quarterback, and this offense is going to be that good that I think I think he can be like a low end wide receiver one, like on his best season. But I mean, I think if you're looking at like a reliable wide receiver two, where you don't have to worry about anything, you can just stick him in your offense and it's going to be good. I think that offense is going to be able to support all these guys, kind of like how the Lions were able to support multiple guys. I think all these guys are with Caleb Williams, who's much better than Jared Goff. So I think it's going to work out really well, and I think all these guys are going to succeed. I think it's going to be a fun offense.
Okay. Interesting point. Then I'm gonna see what Garrett thinks of Luther Burden. Luther Burden played 10 games last year, 15 games. Christian Watson played 10 games, who I talked about last week. Christian Watson had 40 less yards and 4 more touchdowns. Just saying.
I'm not going to sit here and battle stats. I'm not. But also, Luther Burden was a rookie, and Christian Watson has been in the league for 4 years.
He's like 85.
And finally, he's gotten to this point after 4 years. So, I mean, Luther Burden got there his rookie year as like the third option, maybe the fourth option. So now you're dropping him up maybe like the second option, third, possibly the second option, maybe even the first option. You never know the way that offense is gonna work out. But yeah, just slow down. I mean, Christian Watson had half of a good year in his 4th season. I mean, Luther Burden did it his rookie year, so I think I would lean Luther Burden in that argument.
What's better? What's better? Wide receiver 1 in Green Bay or wide receiver 2 in Chicago?
Wide receiver 2 in Chicago, because Green Bay doesn't have a wide receiver 1.
They're all wide receiver 2.
They got a bunch of wide receiver 3s.
Oh, Travion Henderson. You on the Burden train at all? He's a popular player this year, Garrett.
I think he'll be a popular pick and a popular pickup in fantasy. I do think that Caleb Williams surprised a lot of people this last season, and I don't see why in that league, in that division, he won't be able to keep it rolling this year probably, and Burden probably have a good season.
Yeah. Caleb Williams. If you were to listen to me about 2 years ago, I hated Caleb Williams, and it wasn't because I didn't think he was a good athlete. I thought he was a head case. Just seeing some of the stuff that, like, I was like, dude, this guy's not going to survive the rough and tough. I said, he's no quarterbacks ever came into a better situation in football. As the number one pick, that was a solid receiving core he had coming in. And then last year, I mean, Loveland came in and just didn't. He looked spectacular. I thought he'd have to wait a couple years to work up the food chain. And Burden had those couple of splash games, but my guy is going to be the other side of that coin, which is Roma Dunze. Roma Dunze, he's the guy that Caleb Williams wanted. He's like, hey, draft this dude. They rode in the jet together. They've been there. Roma Dunze last year at the start of the season, we're all like, oh, here he comes. This is his year. And then he sort of fell off a cliff, and then he got hurt. And coming into year two in a Ben Johnson offense, Ben Johnson's a stud play caller. He did that. He made the Lions what they are, which might be maybe that's my concern with Amon-Ra, some of the guys up there, because Gibbs pretty much pooped the bed in the playoffs last year for us, is that because Ben Johnson could have been the brains of the operation. I don't know. I mean, I love Dan Campbell, but Roma Dunze, I think this year he's my next top guy. That he's going to be the guy. Burden can be okay, but I think Roma Dunze is going to be the alpha. I think Loveland is the number two, and then Burden will be in number three. But if that offense keeps rolling like that, Caleb Williams is being drafted like quarterback 9. That dude could be a top. I just drafted. I'm doing a Scott Fish Bowl. It's like a eliminator. So every week, some team who scores the less gets wiped out. I'm doing it with Chad Parsons, who did like a free little blurb for us a couple years ago on our bowl prediction show, like in his league, and made a donation. But yeah, so I mean, currently Caleb Williams is tier 3 quarterback 9. He could totally be up there. I mean, I don't think Jalen Hurts is quarterback 6. So Caleb Williams, I'm on the train now. I got him and Jane Daniels as my quarterbacks in that league. So I got Roma Dunze higher than Burden. Love me some Rome.
Yeah, I like Roma Dunze. I mean, I'm rooting for his success too. I mean, I want him to be a number one wide receiver. I liked him last year. I was super excited, like you said, but then he fell off the second half of the season. But the first half was fantastic. Again, falling for that half season of. I mean, that's all it takes for me to like you. Just show me a half a season of football, and I'll be a fan. But yeah, I just think I think the running game is going to be effective as well. I think Caleb Williams has a chance. Caleb Williams, if he surprised me and ended up being like quarterback 2, quarterback 3, it wouldn't surprise me. I think he has that potential. I think Drake May was like quarterback 2 last year. I could find it very easy that Caleb Williams had the same season that Drake May had. He can run the ball. He's shown that he can pass the ball. The offense is just – I think the offense is going to go crazy. I'm turning myself into a Bears fan this year. Just sitting here talking myself into it.
I've been drinking that Kool-Aid as well. So if you had – currently Roma Dunze is a couple slots after Burden being drafted. If you had to draft one Bears receiver on your team, Garrett, who you drafted?
Oh, boy. Probably Burden.
Oh, I got eliminated. Okay, Garrett, give us your next guy. I mean, yeah, it shows how close they are, though, and how close they could be. But, yeah, I think I just switched over my slides, but I think it was like Burden. Burden was like wide receiver 26 and Dunze's 28. So it's like literally that close. Okay, who's your next top guy? Who do you got?
I'm going polar opposite of my last pick with Rice, probably in terms of just personality, and my worry of their getting in trouble off the field and everything else. That's Brock Purdy. Brock is, just a good kid, a good, easy person to root for. I live in Ames, Iowa. He played here in town at Iowa State. My sister-in-law is assistant athletic director at Iowa State and works with the football team. And Brock also good kid, went to my church here, name's Cornerstone Church, and just like he's like easy person to root for, really stand up guy, Mr. Irrelevant. It's hard to like not just want to root for him in every way. So yeah, that's the guy. I more so just a home. It's not my homer pick.
Yeah.
I got a real homer pick, but it was a semi homer pick, but also a top guy. Like I would love to see him get it done someday. He's been close and been near it, but really like him.
23, he was quarterback 6 with 4,200 yards, 31 touchdowns. Last 2 years, 20 touchdowns, 20 touchdowns. Never really knew much about Brock Purdy. It's cool to hear some of the backgrounds, and he'll connect with me now. Like I always sport my church group shirt every time I'm on here. So it's just a good old boy from up there, rocking and rolling. But I mean, how many players have went from Mr. Irrelevant to millionaire?
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy, right?
That's about it. I mean, I like Brock Purdy. I mean, I like him more because he's part of Kyle Shanahan's offense. But anybody part of the Kyle Shanahan's offense, I'm kind of a fan of. But yeah, I like Brock Purdy. I mean, I don't want him as my QB1, but if he's my QB2, I am completely satisfied. Like I mean, I trust Brock Purdy, to be, that kind of guy.
And he falls in that range of like if you're waiting on quarterbacks in redraft, so you might be like, you got that guy who's going to draft. If you're a quarterback guy, you're drafting Josh Allen in the third round, maybe the fourth round. If it's not, when I do like drafts with like some people that are really deep in, quarterbacks don't get drafted till later, but he's in that dead man zone pretty much from, like Jackson Dart all the way down to probably Baker or somewhere. Those guys, there's that zone where one good game and that guy all of a sudden is quarterback 11 and the other guy's quarterback 20, and it's just it's an open zone of good players. It's like you get to pick your poison. Who do I want to root for this year? Who's Brock Purdy's throwing to Kittle, CMC. He's getting a lot of beneficiaries, but just a good old guy to root for. Hopefully, the key last year was health. I mean, he played 9 games. He's only played 1 full season, and that was the year that he had his best year. So if he can stay healthy, I mean, Shanahan's do have a thing of messing up quarterbacks with their injuries. So hopefully he doesn't get good old RG3'd, and they take him out.
To be fair, everybody on that team gets injured. So I mean, it's not like it's just quarterbacks. The receivers are always injured. The running backs are always injured.
Did you hear the conspiracy theory that it's something about where they train?
It's the electric
plant right next to it.
Yeah. That's what's wiping them off.
I mean, maybe I like a good conspiracy theory. I mean, it wouldn't take very much for you to make an argument to convince me that that's the problem. I mean, I would listen to your argument on that.
And then Rich Garrett, because of my brother's name, after a minute, give us your last guy, and then we're going to close out with our homer picks.
Oh, my last guy was hopefully the guy Brock Purdy's going to throw it to a lot, and that was George Kittle. I just like him. I like how he plays. I like watching him play. He did play at University of Iowa here in the state, and funny to see the Cyclone throwing it to the Hawkeye, and being best friends or whatever up there. But I just like how he plays. I think he's a great player. He was on my fantasy team, one of my fantasy teams last year, so I naturally was watching him a lot more. And I think a lot of my favorite players for my other teams are just people that I've had multiple times in fantasy football now. They just become like some of my favorite people and turn up just really rooting for him. But at that position, I mean, he's as good as anybody if he's healthy, I think. Hopefully he's going to be healthy.
So that's what we got to figure out. Like the tore that right Achilles in the wild card game, and it's all over the place when he's going to be coming back. Some are saying he's going to be there week 1. Some are saying a few weeks in. Some are saying you never know because he's older. But talk about is he the most fun player to watch in the NFL? Like, who gets more excited to block somebody than George Kittle? Like, it's spectacular. Like, we'll talk about loving just why, like George Kittle, like blocks somebody, and it's like he won the Super Bowl, and he's just a fun dude to watch play football. I love me some Kittle. I gotta temper my love for him because I'm worried that he's at that age now. He's like at that age, like tight ends can play longer. Kittle has that availability problem often whenever I've had him. I almost pulled the trigger to get a trade for him, but when he plays, he's the dude on that team. Who else is Brock other than CMC? I mean, he's wide receiver one, probably wide receiver two on that team. He's probably his first two looks, but yeah, get him there. I mean, prior to last year, he was tight end one, tight end two, tight end two, tight end four. Then he had 19 when he was hurt. Tight end three, tight end two. Says, dude, he's killing it. Can he kill it this year? Is that Achilles gonna slow him down? Is it gonna be him? He's age 30. He'll be 32 now. So I don't have the sleeper 32 point whatever they're starting now.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe 33 at some point. But is this gonna be a slow year that he rebounds in a year that you can buy him on the cheap in Dynasty? What do you think, JJ Wang?
It might start off slow at the beginning of the season, but I mean, I think by the end of the season, it'll ramp up a little more as they start make their playoff push. But yeah, I like Kittle. He's the only good tight end I have in any of my dynasty leagues. So if he doesn't play, I mean, I'm working with Pat Freiermuth.
Ooh.
People like that. So yeah, I really need him to come back and play, man.
Yeah, I would say if you draft Kittle this year, find someone in that tight end two guys. So you're looking maybe get like a Brenton Strange, maybe a Hunter Henry or Chig up in Washington to sort of just give you a little bit of coverage in case that ACL isn't fully ready or in case they ramp him up slowly.
Yeah, just make sure you got Tongas on your team. He was.
Oh yeah, that's the better call. I do have Tonga still in a couple teams.
He was pretty good.
He killed it. Tongas was a good Jacob Tongas. So those are Garrett's 5 guys: Puka Nakua, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Rashee Rice, Brock Purdy, and George Kittle. We'll add them. We'll take some cool little picture, take a graphic of you, pop it up there, and send it out as well. So far, JJ Wang has had Tyler Shuck, Travion Henderson, and Luther Burden. I have Omarion Hampton, Christian Watson, and Roma Dunze. We'll wrap up the rest of our guys next week, but we're going to close out this episode with us blasting a Homer top guy to have in there, a guy from the team of JJ Wang doesn't have a team anymore. He likes fantasy. So a team of his youth, our teams of now. You're a happier person than I am, Garrett. But we'll close out. Yeah, we're gonna talk to you soon. Garrett, you're our guest. Tell us all about your Kansas City Chiefs and who you're rooting for, and when's he gonna play?
Spoiler, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes. In my unbiased opinion, the best player in the entire NFL. I'm hoping that he somehow is miraculously back on week 1 from this ACL injury. If not, I kind of don't mind the Chiefs' first 4 games and then they get a bye. So, if he's a little slow back to it. But I am hopeful as ever that he's got another, second half run on the career here still, and that he's going to go get a few more before I have to probably live the rest of my life without, another Super Bowl, as most teams tend to go. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm super disappointed last year watching the team, every week lose barely after winning barely every game the year before. Just felt like, the year before it was like, well, obviously they're going to win. Like, they're going to win by 1. It doesn't matter. It's going to be close. And then last year was like, what? We can't beat anybody. We're going to lose by 1. We're going to, so I don't know. I think if he's back, I really liked some of their offseason moves. I wish we had gone out and picked up a real wide receiver 1, but I like the Kenneth Walker pickup. I like the first couple draft picks. I like what they did. I'm hopeful that they're going to really establish a run game with the kid out in Nebraska and Kenneth Walker and take some pressure off of Mahomes. And, I'm a little worried about the receiving core, but he'll keep dinking and dunking it to Kelsey as many times as he needs to. And no matter how old Travis is, he'll find a way to get open. So I don't know. I'm hopeful Mahomes has a real bounce back here.
Currently on Fantasy Couriers, he is quarterback 13. So the consensus, I'll sit down and do my rankings next month to see where I'm going to put him. But I would say that's fairly decent for someone coming back from a December ACL. But JJ Wang, where do you see? I mean, he's in that traffic jam. He's one behind your boy Brock Purdy, Garrett. He's in that traffic jam of quarterbacks. So the ranges are out there. So let's say Patrick Mahomes. What are you thinking? He's out the first month because they're smart and he's their franchise, or
I don't know. I mean, I think if Pat Mahomes wants to play, I mean, I think he's. I mean, if the doctors say Pat Mahomes can play, I don't think you're really going to keep him off the field. To be completely honest, do I think he should play? Probably not. But like I said, I mean, these guys rehab much quicker these days. So I mean, they think he can play. He can play. Will he be like this? I don't know if he'll be like the same, like scrambling Mahomes that we've always seen. I think he'd be more of a pocket passer. That might limit some of Mahomes' upside. But yeah, I think I would probably stay away from him this year. To be fair, I would always stay away from Mahomes. I was never really the biggest fan, so I wasn't like out here trying to draft him anyways. So this kind of gives me a reason not to draft him. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll just take the reason and probably not draft him.
yeah, I'm with Garrett on. Like, I really think Mahomes is the best. I like Mahomes. I think he's the best player in the league right now, other than on the offensive side as far as with what he does leadership. Like the arguments for Josh Allen, but Mahomes has went over the hump with not a lot either, to be honest. So he had Tyreek. Do you think Tyreek comes back this year, Garrett?
I don't know. It's like
You
we're
want it?
going to end up with like Rushy Rice and Tyreek Hill
That's
and
a great wide receiver crew.
yeah, Xavier Worthy and Travis Kelsey and just a bunch of who knows what it's going to be. Go to Thornton deep at least, and I don't know. There's a chance that Tyreek Hill is a Chief, or everybody said Stephon Diggs or AJ. Like there were so many names rumored to be coming in the offseason, but I'll believe it when I see it, I guess.
We'll see what happens the next 30 days. But yeah, so he's on the offensive side. Like, I mean, you go players. I'm looking Myles Garrett, Max Crosby. Those guys are. Aren't you glad that he didn't sign with the Ravens? Doesn't that suck?
Yeah.
Oh, that's too. Okay, JJ Wang, give us your Cowboy.
My Cowboy. I'm not really a Cowboy fan per se anymore. But if I have to give a homer pick, I really don't have a lot of options to go with on the Cowboys. I like CeeDee Lamb, but he's been kind of underwhelming in his career. I like George Pickens, but I don't know if he can be like the guy with CeeDee Lamb there. Dak Prescott, I don't even know if I really like Dak Prescott. I got to root for him because I got him on some fantasy teams, so that's depressing. So I'm just going to go with Jaden Blue here, the second-year running back. I don't really have a reason, but I'm not sure if Javonte Williams will be the guy. There's nobody else on this team that I really like, so maybe this is like give me a reason to maybe root for the Cowboys in some sense. But I think there's an opportunity here. So I mean, I don't know if Javonte Williams could be like a full workhorse running back. I think Blue will be going into the season given the opportunity to be the number 2. So I mean, what was the running back's name?
Malik Davis.
Yeah, so I mean, so they've had multiple running backs that look well. So Tony Pollard was a really good number 2 running back with the Cowboys. So I think we can kind of look like maybe a Tony Pollard clone type.
So we're probably the only show on. Like, Garrett, do you even know who Jaden Blue is?
I was like, I know the name. I don't
Running
even think
back
I've watched him
77.
play.
No one did. So we're the only show in the history where if you got to pick homer pick, he could have went CD. You're a CD fan. JJ Wang's a pretty good CD fan.
I
Never
mean,
been
not
a
really anymore. He's kind of disappointing me. I'm kind of losing my fandom.
And Pickens got the knuckle up, but yeah, running back 77. I think you're throwing more darts than I am at Christian Watson. I believe with that one. Like,
Well, yeah,
you'll find out.
sure. But I mean, I gotta pick somebody. I don't like any of the other guys, so I gotta pick somebody that I don't like. Or that
I mean, spoiler alert, I will be talking about Javonte Williams. I love me some Javonte Williams. I loved what he did there, and I think he's in a spectacular situation now that he's healthy. So I'm going to close out with QB1 for the Miami Dolphins, really one of the 2 players on that team. Like, we're going to get obliterated this year. And you mentioned last episode, JJ Wang, like, Malik Willis is ahead of Tyler Shuck. Yes, because he's going to run. Malik Willis, he started out down in oh crud, where did he start out at? He ended up at Liberty.
Oh, he went to Auburn.
Auburn, thank you. I had my A schools, and Auburn's the only one I couldn't think of. He was at Auburn. They ended up at Liberty, and he looked spectacular at Liberty, but the level of competition was lower. He got drafted by Tennessee as a project, but they put him in, and he looked pretty terrible.
So,
And
Dad,
then
real quick, do you know why he couldn't start at Auburn?
because of
Bo Nix.
there you go.
Yeah, I was like, you couldn't even be. So I mean, that. So
Bo Nix is
that's how long
spectacular.
That's how long Bo Nix was in college. Bo Nix was in college for a long time.
But yeah, but he stepped in when he stepped in for games for Jordan Love last couple years. Had some decent games, but is he going to throw? His best game was against Baltimore in Week 17, 18 completions, 288 yards, a touchdown, 9 rushes for 60 yards. One of those is going to happen. Probably 9 rushes for 60 yards a week. So he's basically a running back for your team. So if you're waiting really long for a quarterback, I'm rooting for the kid because he just seems like a good dude. My favorite video I watched was him at the combine. There was like a homeless dude. Have you ever seen this video? Like it's a little quick Instagram reel. Somebody didn't know who Malik Willis was. He's rolling his bag. Like he's got his little suitcase rolling by. And there's like some homeless guy on the side. He stops, opens up his suitcase, and he gives him some money. Like I'm getting chills just thinking, but because he's just a good dude. So just like with the Brock Purdy rooting for a good dude, Malik Willis seems like a good dude. He's getting a chance. Well, is he getting a chance? That's what makes me kind of sad. Is that I don't know if he's getting a chance because they did not help him. The best player they drafted, Chris Bell, is probably a next year guy. So I think they're planning to get Jeremiah Smith. He's throwing to a bunch of jobbers. He's got he's got a top 5 running back. So those two guys are going to run for a lot of yards. I think Dulcich is a sneaky tight end. So if you're looking, if Tongus can't get Tongus with Kittle, like shaking his head, but hey, he's got to throw to somebody. It's an NFL team. Even if he throws for 2,500 yards, somebody's catching 2,500 yards, and you can't tell me it's Jalen Tolbert or Tutu Atwell.
I don't think he's throwing for 2,500 yards. So.
But I mean, I've liked everything else they did on the team. They're doing what they got to do to factory reset this thing, but I just don't think he's getting a fair shake. So I'm going to root for that guy all the way to the end because it's going to be bad. And hopefully, I mean, luckily the coach and the GM know him from Green Bay. That they're like, hey, dude, be patient with this. We'll be patient with you. Just don't really stink.
Sure. I mean, I'm rooting for the guy. I mean, I want him to succeed. I mean, I think it'd be awesome for him to go out here and have a great season. I mean, I'm not saying I want him to fail, but I think there's a very good chance that he fails because of the situation that he's in. And it's unfortunate, you get your opportunity, and this is the opportunity that you get. But I think it's going to be I think it's going to be rough. I mean, I think he's going to try. I think he's going to try to run, but I don't think it's going to be that. I don't think it's going to be that easy.
So we'll just put 7 tight ends in.
Sure. Yeah.
Any Malik Willis feelings one way or the other, Garrett?
I hope he survives the season. I think he'll be running for his life a little bit, but yeah, hope he does well.
Yeah, I'm rooting for him. It's going to be ugly. I look down the record, and I'm pretty much with consensus with everybody else. We might win 2 games. I mean, thank God we played the Jets twice. But even to be a bad year, this is the year that you want to stink, and our schedule is just brutal.
I think the Jets are better than the Dolphins.
No, maybe. They got Geno Smith, remember? Geno Smith.
Yeah, it's true. I mean,
They got Garrett Wilson, Brees Hall.
I hate Geno Smith, but I think as a team, I would much rather have the Jets than the Dolphins.
Yeah, we could go 1-0 because we do start with the Raiders. Pretty putrid.
I think I'd rather have the Raiders team than the Dolphins team.
Ooh, man. Yeah, they're going to suck. Anyway, so it's been exciting. 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks of Garrett. And instead of giving JJ Wang's words of wisdom, we're going to close out this show with Garrett's shameless plug. You've got as much time as you want. Tell us anything and everything you want people to remember.
Oh, man.
About Rising Empire Studios, whether it's Alpha Clash, whatever you want to tell, sell it out. If everybody looks in the show notes, you will see websites, you'll see the links, and I can even throw in there the YouTube website, the YouTube page for everybody.
Yeah. Well, I could go on and on, but I'll keep it semi brief. So, if you are into tabletop gaming at all, whether you're into the card gaming side or board gaming side, with the Alpha Clash IP, there's the Alpha Clash trading card game. Plays fast, it plays punchy. It's meant to feel like a superhero battle fight. It is lore driven, based on our comic book series and novel series. There is also the board game with Cosmic Conquest, with Alpha Clash, if you're more into heavily on the board game tabletop side. And kind of the happy medium between them is a PvE. So we have solo, co-op, and versus gameplay all in one out of the box, which has been a huge driving force for us in terms of new people coming into the game. People are looking for a lot of solo and cooperative games right now in the space. In terms of story, there's a 500-page novel. There's also an audiobook. If you're not a reader, it takes about 17 hours to listen to it. It's on Audible. It's Alpha Clash: The Awakening. If you want to listen to that, it's professional voice actors and sound effects and the whole deal out there if you want to listen to it instead. And then some of the next big projects is we've partnered with legendary comic writer from Marvel and DC, Mark Waid, with a whole comic series that he's co-authored coming out later this fall. And so those are some things we've got on the horizon as a studio. And then we'll have probably a couple of the biggest projects we've ever done will be announced over the next few months, for some big things we have coming up. And some of the things I'm looking forward to the most this year is getting to those announcements so we can, stop teasing it out and just tell people what we're doing.
Excellent. Thanks for having us. Thanks for letting us have you, and thanks for coming along and hanging out with us. Hopefully, maybe this year I can get Corey to get us into the same division so we can talk a little smack. Have a little fun going through there.
Perfect.
Anytime, you're always welcome to come back. Love to have you. And I hope your Chiefs have a year, and Rasheed Rice figures it out. We're rooting for the talent there. So thanks, and continued success with Rising Empire Studios.
Thank you.
And as always,
trust yourself and trust the process. And I am not rooting for